Yo, what up? It's been like a week maybe, but it's about time to get back in the groove. Got this 8 month stretch coming up with all football. Hope it's 8 months, right? Hope we getting into go into January. You know what I'm saying? Looks like Joey Sly just missed a kick, so everyone that thought he was coming back, uh, maybe not. What's up, Dre? Dre over the waters, across the pond, tapping in with us. Yeah, so today I'm just gonna just walk with me, man. We're gonna look at my 53 man projections. I'm gonna have a couple. Oh, that's Smitty. Check down. What's up, Smitty? I just saw check down. What's up, bro? Eagles content creator. Check him out. You can see right here. He's on X. Follow him. Got some great contact. You also have all NFL, and they do college football too on Saturdays. I believe it's going to 11 o'clock, I think, when the season starts, which I think week 0 is this past weekend. Definitely tap in with them. And we're going to look at some player X's, some player that might not be on this team, a position that we might fill with some players that's already on it. So we're going to check it out for sure, man. You got some bubble players. DMV Sports is in the building. Talking about Jamin, bubble player. I think I seen him in there late in the third quarter. So does that mean something? Does it not mean anything? So we definitely gonna chat about it, man. On the other side of this, man, come tap in with me. Hit the comments, man. Let me know you in the building. Right after this, let's look at this 53 man roster.
Shout out Redzone In the Lab podcast.
Hey, what up, y'all? It's Benjamin St. Jude's, DB for the Washington Commanders. I want to give a big shout out to Redzone In the Lab podcast.
Yo, what up? Welcome back. Redzone In the Lab podcast. I am Deuce. This is a midnight edition because I want to get my projections out now. You know what I'm saying? Just in case they start releasing people right after the game. You know, one thing about this new regime is they're doing the opposite of everything the fans want, in a sense, right? Pretty much they are doing the complete opposite of what we want. We have been wrong probably 90% of the time. What we think they need to do, they're sticking to what they want to do, which I think is encouraging, right? Around the draft, before the draft, most of the fan base, like, this is year one. This is evaluation. Let's let Adam cook. And then I think after the first preseason game, that first drive, a lot of us saw what Jaden Daniels can really be, right? Like the type of the posture that he carries around, the calmness that he carries around. He doesn't seem easily moved, right? He has all these positive attributes about him, right? His presence in the pocket, on the sideline, on the practice field, in the film room, on social media. His presence is something that we may have never experienced before as a fan base of this team, regardless if you're going back to the Braves, the Redskins, the Washington football team, the Commanders. This is something we may not have ever experienced from the quarterback position, right? And he hasn't even played an actual NFL game yet. So after seeing that, then I think the expectations kind of rose a little bit from a lot of the fan base, right? I think the expectations rose a little bit that, hey, look, we can probably win, right? We see Dallas not making a ton of moves, right? A lot of people say they had a terrible offseason. They still got people they need to pay, all these different types of things. Then the Giants, the Giants, the blue people is the blue people, right? And then you have the Eagles. So it's like, is there a chance that we can make a move at least for number 2? And then, of course, the Ayuk situation, right? They just traded Jahan. Like all of these things, there's so much going on, there's so much excitement around this team that we just don't know where to put this energy at. Right? We don't know where we're gonna put this energy that we have for this team. Because it's kind of confusing. And the way that they making moves, the way that they are working is something we don't know what winning is. Right? We know what winning all season looks like for us to be excited and pumped for the season, but it never translates. It never translates. So now if you think we didn't win the all season, maybe this is a good thing. Maybe it'll translate this time. Right? So I don't know. And I have so much to talk about this team, where we are, the Jahan trade, all those different types of things, man. But I do want to just look at this 53 real quick. And let me know. Those are in the comments. Let me know, man. I see Utah. Cody here was good. McSorley QB2. That boy run. If it ain't there, he running, using his feet. Merle was good. Merle in the best. So let me guess, Cole Turner didn't make it. He had a bad game. Cole Turner and number 19. Can't really pronounce his name. I call him Igbo. I can't pronounce his name. I think he was with Dallas last year. Man, he had a bad game. He had a real bad game. All right, so I am about to put this out on Twitter. We're gonna look at defense first. Okay. I put it out on Twitter. All right. I'm gonna share it. I just posted. I'm going to share it here. So y'all can see it. All right, here we go. I don't know if you can see this good enough. Let me see if I can get another screen. All right, let's do this. What's up, Tubbs? Steelers. Appreciate you for tapping in. What's up, Dev? What's good, man? Tim, what's good? Yeah, we gonna get to Martavis Bryant. We're gonna get to Martavis Bryant. Mr. Washington, what's good, man? Hope you enjoyed your time at the game. Wiley, the running back, I think makes his team. I think I agree with you. Drake May didn't even play the entire game. No, I think he played a half. I think the goal, from what I heard before, was Jacoby Brissett would play the first 2 series, and then Drake May the rest of the half, and then Milton in the second half. But Jacoby Brissett got the shoulder injury in the first. So, what's up, cuz? What's good, man? All right. So, for the defense, I have 27 players. All right. And let's just walk through it. So, we have the edge and the outside linebackers. The last time, Ms. Why he said, yeah, the experience was great, much improved. And we're going to talk about that probably tomorrow on OTH. We're going to talk about all of the new upgrades and renovations that Commanders Field. We definitely gonna tap into that. The new eats and all that other good stuff. All right, so the last depth chart that came out for the Commanders, or the Commanders depth chart, they have outside linebacker um, as a position. They had like Dante Fowler, Jamin, or whatever. So we're just looking at this as edge outside linebacker, right? It's going to kind of include both. So this is who I have. I have Dorrance Armstrong, Clinton Farrell, Dante Fowler Jr., KJ Henry, Javante J. Baptiste, and Jamin Davis. I think Jamin Davis makes this team. And I think he's going to be exactly what they're calling him, an edge outside linebacker, right? Whenever they have certain packages where he's able to stand up or put his hand in the dirt, like him and Fowler and those guys, I think that's what they'll do. Right? I think that's the type of hold on, let me look at something real quick. But yeah, I think that's what they do. Jamin played a ton. He played a ton this game. I think he played the first few series of the first, and then I didn't see him for a while. Then I saw him back in the third quarter. But I think they'll use him as a project. I think he's going to make his teams. I think they like his build, his athleticism. He's very fast. I think he, if like we saw a move last week with the jab step on one of his rushes, like we have not seen that from him ever before. So obviously they're working on something, and it's kind of working, right? So we're just going to see, but I definitely think he's make this thing. I don't think Andre Jones, the 7th-round pick last year, I don't think he makes this team. And we got to think about this too, right? There's the practice squad, right? So I think it's going to come down to some decisions as far as, let's say, Andre Jones. What's the other kid name? Micah. What's the other kid name? Mike, what is, I can't walk. Mikal Walker. I think some of those players, if the Commanders release them, right, within this period, and they have to have the rosters have to be set to 53 by Tuesday at 4 p.m. Okay, and then as they release these players, we have to think about this. Are these players good enough to be signed by another team and they won't make it to our practice squad? Because remember, when we release these players, any team that signs them, they have to sign them to their 53-man roster. Right? So is Mikal Walker, Andre Jones, are these players that can automatically, or that a team was signed to their 53? We got to think about that, right? I don't think so. I don't think those two are two guys that another team will say, hey, look, I like blah, blah, blah. I'm going to sign them to my 53. Now, it might, especially Andre Jones. I mean, he was a 7th-round pick. Like I would, and that was last year, if another team was high on certain players that may not have, cracked the right, they might take a chance, right? But I just don't think that's the case. It just kind of depends. So when you get down to those bottom roster, those bottom depth guys, just kind of think about that, right? Kind of think about who's going to have the best chance to land on someone's 53 if we release them. Because after the deadline, then it's open game. You can talk with and start adding players to your practice squad or whatever the case may be. And a lot of these players, if they're not signed to someone else's 53, they might look at it as, hey, look, I've been here since the spring. The coaches know me. I've already started, or I've already began my development with these coaches. I like it here. I'm already kind of settled in. Let me just ride this out for the year. Let me just be on the practice squad. Maybe they'll protect me, because I think you get either 2 or 3 protections on the practice squad, which means another team can't come and grab and sign them. And even if a team does come grab and sign them, they still have to add them for the 53. So they can't grab a player from our practice squad and add them to their practice squad. It doesn't work like that. So these players could be like, hey, I'm just going to stay here, continue to develop. These coaches know me. Obviously, they see something in me for them to ask me to come back to be on their practice squad. Right? So, they still live in a dream. They still able to develop, use the facilities. They still part of the team. They get to travel, film, all of that's different types of things, right? And you never know. Like injuries happen. We have 18 games. Hopefully we have, 17 games. Hopefully we have more games. But still, there's a lot of wear and tear that goes on with these players throughout the year. And you never know. Your name might get called up to be able to go in and be able to play. So that's some of the things that we think about. All right. All right, let's see. We got some more people in the building. What do I think of Cade York? Yeah, we're gonna get there, right? With this defense, we're gonna get there. Nope, no Mathis. Rosemary St. made a case. Yeah, he had a couple drops today too. I think that last catch is good, but again, I think that's another guy that we have to think about. Will another team add him to their 53-man roster? Hey, Kim, Glenn, what it do? Kim is in the building. Belante, yo, what up? Deron, what's up? Key. Fedarian Mass is making it from A. Dot. Cole Turner's like I saw a lot of a couple people tweet out that Fedarian was doing really good today. I don't know, man. And they counted against the center, and the center isn't really good. I think Ridgeway stood out more than what he did on a consistent basis. So if the last spot is going to be up to them two, which I think it will be, I'm going to take Ridgeway because we got to remember Dan Quinn was in the building when they selected Ridgeway, and we all know the story that they cut him trying to sneak him on a practice squad because they had depth issues at other places. He was kind of the odd man out. So Dan Quinn always liked him. So when you're choosing between Mathis and Ridgeway, I think they're going to go Ridgeway if it comes down to that. Cole Turner, yep, we're going to get to Cole Turner. They said Mathis had like 3 batted balls. Mathis balled out. We got to find a spot for Martavis Bryant. Deuce, you got to put Mathis in there. Turner, C-Rod, Ms. Kim said they're cut. Timothy agrees. C-Rod is getting cut. What's our area? PM is in the building. What's good? Hey, Miss Janet. Gripping Mathis. Yes, I think this might be your first time chopping it up with us, bro. But I definitely appreciate you chopping it up. And I'm sorry, I'm just reading these off, and I ain't adding y'all names to the thing. Forgive me. Deron says, I don't think anyone on the bottom of our roster is going to be gobbled up. Me either, man. I just don't. I'm not sure about Pringle, Ridgeway. I got to go Ridgeway. That Johnny knew is hurt. So, all right. So, that's a great point. Because this initial 53, we have to include injured players. Like, we have to include injured players on the initial 53, right? So, the first 53, we have to include those injured players if they're injured. And then after the initial roster come out, the initial cuts, everything is set past Tuesday, then we can add them to the PUP list or short-term hour or whatever the case may be to be able to clear up a roster spot. But if Newton is hurt and he's not going to go week 1, he still is going to have to be on the initial 53. Kaz Allen, yeah, Deron, and that's a surprise for me, Kaz Allen. We're gonna talk about Kaz Allen for sure. We're gonna talk about. Turner needs to go. He cannot catch the ball. He had 1 catch today. I don't know if it's enough though. Tremaine got passed up today. Yeah, he didn't look too good, but I didn't think he made the team anyway. So whoever's behind him definitely wasn't going to make the team. And yes, thank you, Ron Rivera, for nothing. Well, Sam Cosmi, right? Quan Martin, right? And the number 2 overall pick, and cash, and and money, cash money. Yep. All right, so I got Dorrance Armstrong, Farrell Fowler, Henry Davis, Jonathan J. Baptiste. I think we all can kind of agree on the edge outside linebackers, right? For the tackles, I got Deron Payne, John Allen, Johnny Newton, and Ridgeway. I think they keep 4 tackles. I don't think Mathis make this team. They didn't draft Mathis. They don't, like I said, Dan Quinn, he really liked Ridgeway, especially in Dallas when they drafted him. He liked them. I think that's his guy. I think Ridgeway showed enough today. And I'm kind of basing a lot of this on all the preseason games from all 22 I've watched. Just some people that have been at practice, some beat reporters, some fans. Some of the videos we've seen from camp, the reports coming from, not camp, the joint practices, the podcast that talks about the joint practices, the people that's watching and that's there. So this is kind of like, it's like a whole scope of thing, and who I think the team is going to bring in. Tinsley, we're going to get to the offense just after this. We do the defense. Driscoll hurt himself tonight. You think Mateus can make this team? We're gonna talk about that in a minute. Only 4 tackles as well. I don't think so, right? Like, if this defense is looking to have a lot of different personnels, for the most part, you're gonna have 2 D tackles. You're gonna have 2 D tackles that kind of come in and sub them out. You're gonna be subbing them in and out, right? I think we gonna see a lot of 5-man fronts, which is gonna include 2 stand-up ends, outside linebackers with a tackle and 2-5 techniques. I think we'll see that. So adding an extra D tackle, I don't, I just don't see it. They still may do it, but I'm going to kind of go away from it because, like, who would you remove, right? Would you remove Baptiste? Jamin, like who would you move? Pittman, maybe. I don't know, because you also got to think about we need guys on special teams, especially with the new kick return. Who likes Bryant, Kim? 5 tackles, 5 edges. Yeah, that's possible. Keep those mouth and ridge and go with 3 tight ends. The corners look bad. Yeah, all the corners look bad all over for sure. Why you say the coaches, Kim? Did they talked about them after the game or something? Or just when they signed them? Yeah, I know who you're talking about, Tim. Just good. All right, so then I got Bobby Wagner, Frankie Louvu, Jordan McGee, Anthony Pittman. Anthony Pittman is a special teams ace, and we really don't have I think Frankie Louvu is going to be a move linebacker, him and McGee. And even when Wagner was out, McGee was the Mike. I think Anthony Pittman provides some type of depth and experience, but I wouldn't be surprised if they go Michael Walker here. That'll be a lot of youth. And we got to remember Frankie Louvu been in the league for 7 years, so he's a vet. So I can see some changes there at linebacker. They can probably go Michael Walker, or they can go a player X right there, somebody that we're not thinking of to move out Michael Pittman. Yeah, man. Let's say Adam Pease gave him a hug. Yeah, look, man, the guy been out the league for 6 years. I think he has 23 catches the last 10 years. Right? So when someone works their tail off like he has and you kind of see it on the field, you're very excited for him. Like you're rooting for the guy. You're rooting for the guy, like, right? But this is a business. I think 6. I don't know what that is. 4 is correct. There are interchangeable edge outside. Oh, I think 6'4". Yeah. That can do that hand in the dirt or stand up. Yeah, I think so, man. I think Payne, Allen, Newton, and Ridgeway is going to be hand in the dirt guys all the time. The majority of their snaps. All the edge outside linebackers, they all can do both. And Baptiste showed a lot of bend. He showed a lot of bend today too. He showed a lot of bend today. All right, this is where it gets funny at, man. Where you see. Okay, so this is what I think about the players that sat out tonight. Do they automatically have jobs? Like, do they automatically make the team? I say no. For instance, if a player's injured, he can't play, right? If a player has some sort of an injury clause, you don't want to take that chance and play him if you're not going to keep him on your 53 and they get hurt, then he has to stay, then you have to pay him. And then you have older vets like Crowder. He doesn't need to play, right? He doesn't need to audition for other teams. He is who he's going to be. So he doesn't have to play. So you have some of those players that was probably. I mean, look at like Sam Hartman. I think he was hurt, right? He's part of that 34. So I don't think they automatically are on this roster just because they didn't play today, right? Collinsworth was hard to listen. I think Collinsworth was hard to listen to because he was giving Drake May a lot of praise. Yes, I don't know what you're saying. Yes to that. Besides the guys that are injured, you think Percy makes it over Defoe? Percy Butler might not make the team. Yes, Percy. I do. I think Percy Butler has played a lot with the ones and twos. And he's a special teams. He's good on special teams too. We also we got to think about that too, right? Who plays special teams, who doesn't? When it gets down to the kind of like the 2-3 depth guys, right? Who plays special teams? How many positions on special teams can you play? So I think he is one of those guys. But if you can see player X, the player X on my projection is I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't make the team and they add someone else on the waiver wire. Because remember, we have the number 2 spot on the waiver wire. We have the number 2 spot regardless of how many moves we make, how many players we sign up into the regular season. We have the number 2 waiver wire slot. So player X is a player that I wouldn't be surprised if Percy doesn't make the team and they kind of leave that spot open and bring someone else in. Use that waiver wire to bring that. That's why I have player X right there. So I don't think he 100% makes the team. So announcers mostly talked about the Pats. Hampton played linebacker. Did he play linebacker tonight? Because I know they like him a lot, but he seems really raw. His tape is great, but from the preseason games, it hasn't translated in a sense. I mean, he's still young linebacker. You have to learn it, especially if they have him playing 2 different positions. But I asked, is he a guy that a team is going to sign to their 53? Possibly. I mean, you might can change him and Percy. On this list, you could put Percy and change him, Hampton and Percy. Because if you think about it, maybe I don't think either one of those guys make it to someone else's 53, but Hampton might. Castro Fields, no, he's not. I don't think he's definitely not making the team. What's up, Dan? How you been, man? I think you had surgery not too long ago, so hopefully you're healing up pretty good. New Commanders fan coming into the world 6 a.m. Oh, congratulations, man. Congratulations. Those could have played better than Cat. I don't know about all that. What's up, Key? Like I say, he did play linebacker tonight. Yeah, so I don't know, but that's definitely up for grabs, right? But I think they like Percy Butler. I think he plays fast. I think he plays aggressive. Of course, all these guys have technique issues. I just don't know what he's going to do with these guys, man. That's why I wouldn't be surprised. Even in the cornerback room, right? We got St. Juice, we got Sandra Strill, we got Mike Davis, we got Manu Forbes, and we got Anusium. I got these guys as the 5 cornerbacks. But again, I meant to have Mike Davis as a surprise cut. I don't think he gets cut, so that'll be a surprise. I meant to have him as a surprise cut. Anusium, I think he may get. I don't know. It's been very up and down. You hear more positive things at practice than what we see in a preseason game. So I'm kind of interested on how they see that, like how they determine if they're going to keep him on that. But that's why I have player X right there. I will not be surprised if they bring in a vet corner in this room, because James Pierre is not it. Like, he is not making this team. He is not it. Castro Fields is not it. Caillou Bukele is not it. Igbo is not it. He had a horrible game. Igbo had a horrible game all over. He was getting burnt. He was missing tackles. He had a horrible game all over. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a player X that they go look out as far as cornerbacks. But our cornerbacks they're just not good, man. But I mean, Sanders is probably the only one that's pretty much been positive the whole the whole training camp. He's probably the only one, preseason games, joint practices, but everyone else, man, it's not looking good. So I don't think we go 3 linebackers. I do think we might see some 5-2, and if we do see some 5-2, like if the other team is in 21, or it might be Sanders still that corner. Right, Sanders still might be your CB1 or your CB2, and maybe they move him in the slot. When they go nickel or 3 corners, I don't know. I think they're really high on this guy, and I think he's going to be playing all over the field. I really do, man. Noah had a bad game, Belante, and I like him. I like him, man. But these last couple weeks, he had a bad game. Today, he had a real bad game, bro. Real bad game, man. Dan Quinn just said, you feel his size, you feel the competitive nature. JB Finney believes he has a real shot maker. Who is this for? Is this for Mathis or Noah? A-Dot. Yeah, man. Like we was talking about Dominique Hampton. I think you can switch him out with Percy. Belante, I wouldn't be surprised if he's not there. But it's a numbers game, man. It's a numbers game. I just don't know if he can do enough. I think he's very talented. His tape is great. He has great tape, great college tape. I watched it. I think he's good, but he's still kind of OC. He's still learning. You can tell he's still real raw. He's still real raw. And another thing that this 53 is going to tell us about this regime is this, like, how are they really looking to be more of developmental this year, or are they looking to be more competitive? Because there probably some decisions that they make is be like, you know what, he may not be ready yet, but I want him to develop. I want him to get this time in so we can be ready to ball out next year. Oh, ain't that time on my table, Brian? I know I'm stuck on offense and we're not even in it. That's all right. It's all good. We're gonna come back to it. They have to keep. I mean, they don't have to. Right? They don't have to. If when they drafted him, if their outlook was, we know he's raw, we know he's not ready, but he's a guy that we just gonna have around and add him to the 53, even though we know he's not ready. All right, cool. If that's what they want to do, I'm not mad at them. But just based off play, consistency, what we've seen, what we've heard, what we've listened to, he's just not making this 53. And I do, I want a regime to, of course, you want to look at projection, production, and all those things. But if you have someone that's what I mean. If you have someone that's totally outplaying someone else, then they need to get the nod. Unless you're looking at this year as a developmental year. And if you're just looking at it as a developmental year, get rid of Pittman. Right? Put Hampton in there. You don't need Pittman. Right? You don't need those veteran guys because you're just going to go into this year developing. So that's going to be a decision we're going to know before Tuesday. Honestly, it might sound crazy, but even if They bring in a vet corner. I think they have their eyes set on Tyron Corner next free agency and the 2025 draft. They know they can't fix all in one offseason, but they're trying to patch and fix like a broken down road with potholes. Yeah, of course. I mean, if whoever you signing right now, I mean, it ain't gonna be your future. When we think about history, it's not gonna be your future. It ain't gonna be in the lockdown corner that you picking up now. Not saying he can't turn into it, but that's not the case. If he's showing any type of lockdown tendencies, he's not going to be released. So what we have in this cornerback room is probably what we're going to have. What's up, Corey? This might be your time commenting, man. We definitely appreciate you commenting. So please continue to do so. Corey says we have our kid. Yeah, KO pretty positive. We made a couple 30s, I think. But I have player X beside him, man. Because there's a few teams. I think we got the Saints, the Titans, the Packers. Joey Sly just missed one, so he'll probably be a free agent tomorrow. And a lot of people saying bring him back. He just missed a 30-something yarder, the typical Joey. Who else? It was another team too. They had some good kicking competitions going on there. But for this guy, we traded for 7th round compensation, but I think I didn't see officially anywhere, but I think the rumor was if he makes the team, it's going to be a conditional 7th next year. And I know the Jahan trade, we got a couple more. So maybe he's the lock. Maybe he's the lock. Because it's kind of too late. Because I think it, and I wonder how those conditions are set up, because if it's based off this initial 53 between Tuesday, I mean, what they gonna do? Right? Like, what they gonna do? I mean, I don't know if they can cut him and then try to sign him back to keep the 7th. I don't think that's, I think, that'll create some issues. They try to beat the system like that. So he probably is gonna be the kicker, man. It's they guy. They went out, they wanted him. They ain't wait. I mean, look, we number 2 in the waiver. I think the Panthers is number 1. The Panthers have a kicker, right? So we could have just waited for them to release York. Because I think they have Hopkins, right? And I think he was going to win the job, but they went out there and they traded for him. They went and got him. So this may be our kicker. He looks very confident, though. What's up, Unc? What's good, man? I can see them bringing in a corner, tackle, and a receiver. Ed says, I need to see Cade make a 40-plus yarder before I say we have our kicker. I think it's conditional if he plays a number of games. Yeah, I don't know. Like, did you see that from someone credible? If so, send it to me, Edward. I'll definitely appreciate it. He also say an injury. All right. Like I said, I want to try to be before y'all very long. Let's get to the offense. Let's get to the offense. Let's see what we got here. So in the chat, put y'all surprise cuts. Somebody that, like Jahan was a surprise trade. All right, so I'm posting my offense. I just post the offense. Let's look at it. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. All right. Let's see what we got. All right, let me know what y'all think. All right. It was, I think, JP. I forgot. I really have to look at the all 22 with default, but it just seemed like he was out of position every single, like most of the plays, he was out of position. And it's very difficult to see because we can't see him beginning the play. But the all 22 will be able to show more from the sky view. Call it the blimp view. Remember the old man. But I just don't think he makes this team. And I want him to make this team, man. Because he did. He showed a lot his second year. But he's been injured 2 out of the 4 years. Well, two out of the 3 years he's been injured. I don't know, man. It's tough. I think he's a great down here, and I don't think he's good at strong safety. I think he had a lot of issues there. You know, when Curl had went out last year, beginning of the year, he had a lot of issues there. I don't think he makes this team. Hey, said Chris Robbie, Cole Turner, Jamie Davis, Dirk Forrest getting cut to me. Which one of these is a surprise, though, Dad? I got Cole as my surprise cut. Cass Allen getting cut as well. Blante says Chris Rodriguez. Griffin says, I think we should go with 3 running backs. Rodriguez got to go. Jeff Gurley is getting cut. I think Mariota is going to end up being healthy. I definitely think Mariota is going to be the quarterback, but I hope not. I think Driscoll has been kind of consistent these last couple games we've seen. But I think they like Mariota. I think Mariota is Brian Johnson's guy. I think he'll help with some of the offense he wants to install. So I think Mariota definitely is the quarterback and not Jeff Driscoll. But hey, I want to go with Jeff Driscoll. All right, so Jaden, Jeff Driscoll. I think they paid Sam Hartman the most amount of money. I don't think he goes to the UFL and play, especially if he gets protected. I think if he goes, I don't think he'll sign to another team's 53. So he'll be clear for the practice squad, and he can make a decision if he wants to stay here or go to another team's practice squad. I think he'll choose here. I think he's one of the players that we discussed earlier about having the ability to choose where they want to go if they're not automatically signed to another team's 53. I think he stays here. We kind of committed to him. We told, hey, look, we're going to pay you the most money. We want you here. We want you to develop. And I think he can be, backup quarterback of the future if that's what they're looking to do with him. Because Jeff Driscoll, I think, has been in the league, 8, 9, 10 years, something like that. We all know Mariota's story. So we just got to see if the team – I think they're going to keep 2 quarterbacks. It's so difficult, man. Like, they really have to like Hartman or Driscoll and Mariota to keep 3 quarterbacks. So, all right. So for the running backs, I kind of always thought it was going to be 3 and 4, one way or the other, right? But here I went 4 and 4. Originally, my whole stance was you need a backup. Austin Eckler already put it out there. He doesn't want to run the ball he doesn't want a crazy amount of rushes, running the ball in between the tackles. He wants to, be used as that third down type back, get rushes every now and then, and be able to preserve himself for the entire year. So with that being the case, Michael Wiley really surprised me. I didn't think that he could run in between the tackles, but he definitely showed that to me, showed that he can run in between the tackles. He runs hard. Chris Rodriguez here, like, I don't think McNichols really hasn't done enough for me. And Chris Rodriguez is a young guy, second year in the league. He runs hard. He had a lot of positive plays, even last year, even though he had a couple fumbles, but he had a lot of positive rushes, and he had a lot of penalties, especially this game. A lot of his positive gains have been brought back. And you can argue if it was a hold or something, maybe he wouldn't have got those games because it was a hold bringing it back. Like, you can argue that. But I wouldn't be surprised either way if he does or doesn't make this team. So I go 4 running backs. Anything new? Whose apartment starts on pup? Who are you talking about? All right. So the tight end, like, I was going back and forth tonight with Cole Turner. Man, he looked horrible. Like, he looked so bad, man. I know he caught a pass late, but like his size, I don't think he's like a great route runner. I don't think I mean, even though we know who John Bates is, I don't think John Bates has any competition. I think Zach Ertz is your receiving tight end. I think John Bates is your blocking tight end. But he also can find softness in the zones. He's not going to beat anybody. He's not going to separate anybody. But he kind of has sure hands, right? Like, he'll find a spot in a soft spot in the zone and sit, and he'll catch the football. So you can't automatically tip that it's going to be a run play when he's in the game. But I definitely think he's the second tight end. I think Snats can do it all. I think he can receive inside. Yeah. A lot of you all know how high I am on Snats. Since February, very high on him. I think he can receive it, he can block, he can do all those things. He's not great at any of it, right? I think this is one of those tight ends that can come in, give you he can impact the game. But I think after a couple years is when he's really going to cement himself within the league as one of the best tight ends in the league. I really do. But he's a good move guy, right? He can move. He can separate. He can get you yak yards. He doesn't go down easy. Like, I comped him to Chris Cooley when we did his tape back in March. He just looks exactly like him. Like, he has everything that he has, and I think he's I think he's going to be a better athlete. I think he's going to be a better tight end. So I definitely like Snap. Yeah, man, Cole Turner, man, I think he might get cut, man. I think he might get cut. I really do. But at the same time, he might be one of those guys that we might be upset that he made the team. I can see him making the team. I can see Cole Turner making the team. His upside is definitely closing, right? He's going on year 4, I think. So we'll see, man. Like, that pass he caught today over the middle from McSorley is the type of things that you expect for him to do. But he also had a couple drops. Yeah, Driscoll could have took some heat off of the one earlier, but still, man, like, you need to catch those. So I wouldn't be surprised if he is or is not on the team. Let's see, because Ben was all around tight end, Sanders had to work on his blocking coming up. No. You know what? The thing with Sanders is if you don't get him involved early, he quits. Jatavion Sanders, he quits. There's multiple games that show him quitting if you don't get him involved early. He can be a great blocker. He has shown that he can be a great blocker too, but he quits and he just kind of taps out for games, for quarters at a time. he taps out. And like the draft show we had, like we said that continuously, and you saw that in the draft. Look how far he fell. Gang. Charlie says Cole has done nothing since he has not done nothing, bro. He hasn't done nothing, man. He hasn't done nothing. This is why I won't be surprised if they go 3 tight ends, Tally. I wouldn't be surprised if they go 3 tight ends and move somebody somewhere else. I won't be surprised, man. I actually was going back and forth. I actually want to change it, but I already put it out there now. Just thinking about it with you guys more and more. It's just that I had such high hopes for him, and what he was able to do. And I just thought, with this coaching staff, the new tight ends like that they could get something out of him, but it just doesn't seem like it. It just doesn't. I just haven't seen it. I haven't seen it this offseason. I haven't seen anything that make you go, you know what? He ain't had good coaching. I haven't seen it, man. I think what's the Yankov? I think Yankov has probably been more consistent than he has. Yankov might be the 4th tight end because I think Yankov's played special teams too. All right, so wide receivers, Terry, Diami, Luke, Oz, and then I think we all can agree to those 4. I think Oz suited up today, but you can see he didn't even play. I think he was just there. And a lot of guys that played today are also locks. Not everyone was vying for a spot because it's just a numbers game. Like you still need players to suit up and play. I don't think he actually played, but he did suit up, I guess, like for emergencies or something like that. I think he did suit up. So I think we can say those 4 are locks. Let me go to these comments for they kind of get. Maybe he's a practice squad guy. Who you talking about, Ed? Cole? Showing and quitting isn't good. I just saw Ben working hard even when things didn't work out. Colin Hendricks, I think this might be your first time. I definitely appreciate you tapping in. Continue to tap in, bro. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's in my bio. And if you check my page, there's also a post. YouTube Ed, y'all can subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go over there and chop it up with us over here. In a chat screen from YouTube. You don't have my Tay making team? No, and I'm going to talk about it in a second. I've done more than Cole. I don't flip a team. I agree. I think they only keep 3. Yeah, Telly, like, I want to change this, man. I want to change this because I was going back and forth, man. I was like, I even added him because I thought I was going to have 28 defensive players and special teams, but I ended up having 27. So I came back over here. I was like, And he made that catch right when I was thinking about it. I said, yeah, they might take a chance on Cole. And I added him, man. I might want to take him. Yeah, I want to kind of take it. It's all good. It's too late now. But yeah, man, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think Cole makes the team. I don't make Cole do the team. Yank about to take him off the roster. Yeah, yank him right off, right? Cole is probably a practice squad guy. Yeah, he's eligible. Cole, he ain't done that, man. You think there's a chance Crowder? Oh, man. All right, so we got the 4. So I think we all can agree with Terry, Diami, Luke, and Oz, right? I call him Oz, OZ. I think we all can agree with them 4, right? I think everything after that is where the questions arise. Jamison Crowder, he didn't play today, but I still don't think that's why he's a lock. I think because he's a vet, he doesn't have to go out there and show anything to anybody. He is who he is, so he didn't really need to play. Let the other young guys play, right? But he's also been short-handed, right? Even in these preseason games, he's always somebody you can count on to come off the bench, to be able to contribute, to know where to go, to be a safety blanket for your wide receiver that can win across the middle. But I joke about him all the time that he's always drinking water after every rep. He's always stretching his hamstrings after every rep. After every rep. He's old. He got walked down last year, right? But I think his veteran leadership gets him on this team. I do. And I don't want him on this team, bro. I do not. But as you all can see, we kind of down bad. I can see him making his team. For me, it was either Mitchell Tinsley or Pringle. I think Mitchell Tinsley has had a better camp. I think he's been better in the preseason games. He's also younger. And I think he was also one of the guys they had brought back early in the process, signed him back, I believe, because I think Pringle just got back couple months ago, I think. So, and I think this is Tinsley's second year in the league. I think they might could take a chance on him. I didn't go Rosemary because of the fact that Rosemary, he's just not ready. He did have a good catch on the sideline today, but he had some drops. He missed routes. He don't block. There's a lot going on with him. And I don't think he makes it to someone else's 53-man roster. So I definitely think that he is on the practice squad. I don't think Mitchell Tinsley makes it on somebody else's 53-man rosters too. So those guys is like in the same tier, right? Same thing with Davion Davis. I think he's going to be on our practice squad. All right, so Martavis Bryant. We all know Martavis Bryant been out of the league for 6 years. He was on the Cowboys practice squad last year for a couple weeks, I believe. Essence Crowder was so good with us. Yeah, not that he needs to make the roster. I'll eat chips every Sunday. Brian Pringle make the team. Not that he I think he was with the Cowboys for a couple weeks. They practice squad. I think the year before that he was the UFL. I think he had 14 catches. But he's only had 23 catches in the NFL for the last 10 years. He's had 23 catches in the NFL. He came in for workouts, I believe, in June. I believe. They signed him a couple weeks ago, and the report came out. I think he lost 25 pounds, 40 pounds, something like that. One of the two. So that tells me. Some people was like, well, he's been in shape, he's staying in shape, he's always been. But if that's the case, why you had to lose 40 pounds in 2 months if you've already been in shape? That's one thing. And then who are you gonna replace him with? Just from this roster, you're gonna Mitchell Tinsley, you're gonna put him wide receiver 7. Are we gonna have 7 wide receivers? I don't know. I'm gonna talk about Cass Allen. Today, Martavis had a slant? I think he ran the goal line. I like that. I definitely think that he makes the practice squad because I think he's still eligible from the new rules post-COVID or during COVID, whatever. So as a vet, I think he still makes the practice squad. I think he still can do that. I think they'll make it because from everything he's been through, like you all was saying, I didn't see it yet, but they was hugging him and being excited for him, this, and that. But is that enough? Is that enough for him to make the team? Is that enough for him to make the team? And I don't think so. Mr. Wash he makes practice squad. I agree with you. Telly said I hope they keep Driscoll. Me too, bro. I doubt it. But I hope they do. I don't think like that interception today. I mean, a backup quarterback. He's been in the league 9-10 years or whatever. He shouldn't have made that throw. You got to see the field a little bit better. But hey, man, he has the legs. He can run. He can move, get out the pocket. Mariota's just not good. He's just, and I don't want, and I don't, if they keep him, it's just because not because he's a vet. I mean, I know Jaden talked about how much he's learned from him, but really, what are you gonna learn from him? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not much. Dude quit on his team. But I think that's a whole different. We ain't gonna get into that. He hasn't really been successful in the league. I don't know, man. Like the vet stuff he could get from Jeff Driscoll. So I think if they keep him as more of a Brian Johnson thing than a Mariota production thing. And I'm not gonna if they keep him, I'm not gonna like that move from Adam Peters and Dan Quinn. So I'm just putting that out there now because I think they just doing it just cause, and I don't want that. Because we have young guys, we have a young quarterbacks coach, we got young coordinators, we got young Brian Johnson, we still got Jeff Driscoll could be that vet. I mean, he's been in the league for a while. So you have young guys, you have a mixture of young guys and and some vet guys in there that you don't need that in the room, man. But but we know. So we'll see. Let's see. Ed says Cash don't need to be carrying a football, kick return, punt return. He do, man. He used to be a running back. I would replace him over Tinsley and Cash Allen. Oh, you want Martavis Bryant? You put Jameson Crowds and then Martavis. His name is Martavis. It's not Martavius. Martavis Bryant. Brown was also doing a good job at blocking. I think Bryant makes the 53, mainly because he looks like Brown also forced 3 DPIs. Did the quarterback force it or did Bryant force it? Jaden learned more on his own. If he said he learned something from Jeff, he been a nice man. How can you want Driscoll over Mariota? Yeah, I think we just talked about that. I just don't think Mariota is very good. From what we've seen in this preseason, not going back to 2 years ago, 3 years ago, from what we've seen in the preseason, from what we've heard from like OTAs, from the beat reporters, from the joint practices, what was shared from the other teams, beat reporters, fans, and as well as ours, Jeff Driscoll has just looking competent. He's looking like a backup quarterback. Mariota has been hurt, but when he did come in the game, who was that against the Jets? He looked awful. So just taking what we know, not what we hope that can be and what they have done in the past, it should be hands down that Driscoll won that job over Mariota. I don't know what that means. Driscoll is what? What you mean? When he comes in, he's going against Wands. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't get what you're saying, AJ. Marcus looked like a drunk man playing quarterback. I'm sorry, but he did when he played in New York. Yeah. All right, so the Cass Island thing is funny to me. Like, and this is another position where I have like player X where it may be somebody that we might use on the waiver wire. A team might cut. I know the Texans, they have a few wide receivers that they might not be able to keep. They have some guys there that might want to get other opportunities that can kind of climb up another team's roster. You might have some guys across the league, some wide receivers. So that this player X might be somebody else, might not be Kaz Allen, could be another player that's released that the Commanders use their waiver powers to sign on the waiver wire. But the Kaz Allen thing is very interesting to me because it seems like they're really trying to find a role for this kid. I think out of everyone on this team, he's the most explosive guy. I think like he's the guy that can, when they say like a home run hit type guy. I'm not saying that everyone else can't, but he's that guy. And I know Cliff mentioned the other day how he sees him as like a Debo type guy, Debo type player, and in that role. Handoffs, gadget player, reverses. We've seen him in a couple reverses. We've seen him on some quick screens. He's getting handoffs now. I think they really want him on this team, and I think they really want to find a role for him. So just if they cut him, they only keep 6 receivers or bring in someone else, I wouldn't be surprised. But them just just trying to find something for this guy is very telling. And I think, like Telly mentioned, I think he was the first guy that they actually re-signed when they were able to after the season. I think this was one of AP's first signings. So I wouldn't be surprised if he makes this team. Parlay. Deuce, I don't know, bro. I think we might need to find a way to put Brian on the team. He's a complete do-it-all type of player. The main thing, he blocks on that outside and drawing up 3. The walk was amazing. I don't care who checking out. They're professionals who he made look silly. As long as we use that excuse for all the players, right? It don't matter who out there. As long as we use that for all the players, not just players that we like. But let me ask you this. when does he see the field? I think he's just started like in like the fourth quarter or something like that. I think that's when he first came in this game, the fourth quarter. Even last week in goal line red zone situations, in the game, he wasn't in the game. So where do you guys see him playing? Like, where do you? How many snaps do you think he gets a game? Like, do you think he gets snaps over the top four guys? Like, where do you see him playing? Do you think he's on a game day roster? Because I think it's his name, right? I think it's his name that got people kind of excited about him. Because like we bring people in, we sign people all the time. That's, you know, some people practice squad last year and this, and we don't have this type of excitement for these guys. Like Rosemary Saint, what's his name? Y'all know I'm talking about. No one is talking about him. Like people are saying that Martavis needs to get a spot over him. Yeah, I think he outplayed Rosemary this all season. I mean, like since he's been here. What about Bryson Tremaine? You think he's outplayed Bryson Tremaine? I mean, how often are we gonna run 5 wide receiver sets? I mean, has he outplayed Bryson Tremaine? Has he outplayed Rosemary St. Jude? Has he outplayed Mitchell Tinsley? Has he since he's been here? Has he outplayed any of those guys? Battle it out. When the battling is over, it's over. It's about the 53-man roster. You talking about? I mean, they can still do it if they're on a practice squad, but that part is over. I hated the pickup. He kind of sold me watching him block. I know you ain't talking about that first practice, because I'm on record. I actually text somebody at that practice that was able to watch, and they said he was only in on 2 reps that whole day, and one of them was one of the blocking reps. But I asked you, Ed, like block where? Like you play like this is not like you really can't treat it like preseason. It's not play a few spats, you know. You got Terry, Deami, Luke, Oz, Jameson, Mitch. Like you have guys that's going to be playing. You need your best guys out there. You can't just be putting anybody out there just cause. Yes, Telly, we are definitely screaming for you. Even before the Jahan move, and we're gonna talk about that more tomorrow, or today, later today. It's 12:30. But yeah, man, this wide receiver room, man. We got fans. Like, think about this, right? And when Telly was talking about screaming for IU, we have the fan base. Like, you know, we got Edward, got Parlay, talking about a guy that has 23 catches the last 10 years, being a contributor on Sundays. That hasn't played in the NFL in 6 years. That everybody is bringing up this unofficial 4.27 time that he supposedly ran in 2017. who was overweight 2 months ago by 40 pounds. Just think about it. 23 catches in the last 10 years. Haven't played an NFL snap in 6 years. Had 14 catches in the UFL. Was 40 pounds overweight 2 months ago. An official time of 4.4 or just under 4.4 40-yard dash. An unofficial 4.27, which came somewhere at some point, somewhere 2017 and before. And he's 30 years old. How old is Martavis Bryant? Let me see. How old is Martavis Bryant, Telly? He's 32 years old. Come on. 32 years old. So we have a 32-year-old wide receiver. Think about this. A 32-year-old wide receiver that's been playing the last few years, 6 years or whatever. Like, those guys are not looked at as star contributors. Like, you may have your alphas that's still in the 30, 31, 32 that's still out there balling. But they're not ascending. They're descending. They're descending. They're not ascending. So now you want to bring in a 32-year-old wide receiver that has 23 catches in the last 10 years. He hasn't played an NFL snap the last 6 years. He had 14 catches in the UFL 2 years ago. He was on the Dallas practice squad for a couple weeks last year. And he was 40 pounds overweight 2 months ago. And he's 32 years old. Yes, I would be surprised if Jeremy Reeves got cut. Definitely. I would definitely be surprised. Dang, it's not like, bro, like just think about everything I just said about, like, if he make this team, yeah, cool, I root for him. If he come out here and ball out, he will be the anomaly. He will be the anomaly. Name me a player that's been away from the league 6 years, hasn't had only had 23 catches in 10 years, 32 years old, was 40 pounds overweight 2 months ago. Comeback player of the year. Bruh, yes, comeback player of the year. He get 5 catches for 80 yards. He definitely going to be comeback player of the year. He has to be. He has to be. A touchdown. 5 catches, 80 yards, 1 touchdown. He has to be in the conversation for comeback player of the year. If he plays the last game of the season, he gets 5 catches, 1 touchdown for 80 yards. He need to be in the conversation for comeback player of the year. I mean, even be 4 or 5. Like, is he better? Do you think he's gonna give you better numbers than Olamide I spelled this name. I put Zachary. Olamide Zaccheaus. Do you think he's going to give you better numbers than him? Or what about Jamison Crowder, Mitchell Tinsley, Rosemary? Like, do you think he's going to give you better numbers than these guys? Cass Allen is he's younger, right? He is probably he is the most explosive player on this team. It seems like the coaches are really trying to find a spot for him, wide receiver, running back, punt return, kick return, because they understand how explosive he is. Cliff the other day said he's a Deebo Samuels type guy, running reverses, quick screens, those type of things. He's young. He's crazy fast. No. Show me that AJ. He was overweight. All right. They don't want IU because they saw we got Brown. Like it's insane to me, man. Like people really going to bat, and I think it's this pro-black thing. I think it's this what is his name, man? I can't think of his name. It's this pro-black thing. It's this Colin Kaepernick thing. It's this marijuana thing. The league did them wrong. The league suspended him for smoking. It should have been legal. This, and that. He's doing what he has to do to come back. This is the NFL. Come on, man. Like, really? They signed him for a reason. They put him on a practice squad. Yeah, I would love it. I would love it. Like, get a man an opportunity. Give him a try. But what I'm saying is I'm not putting him over Jamison Crowder. I'm not putting him over Mitchell Tinsley. I'm not putting him over Cutdown. I'm not putting him over Rosemary. He has done nothing football related for us to be excited to have him on this team other than his name is Martavis Bryant, and he was once projected to be a superstar. That's it. What's up, dog? That's it. Like, give me something positive about why we should have Martavis Bryant on this team. And don't tell me DPIs, right? Because if he was such great and such taller than the guys that was out there, maybe he should have snatched it from him and actually caught it like Rosemary did on the sideline. Last week, we had red zone opportunities, and they took him out the game, and they put Bryson Tremaine back in there. So he should make this team over Bryson Tremaine. It's got to be because of his name and what was 12 years ago. What was when he was in college. It's definitely a bad thing if he's the fourth or fifth wide receiver. It's definitely a bad thing if he's the fourth or fifth wide receiver, bro. Oh, man. Well, everybody ain't strong but Debo, but you get the point. Crowder, what? Crowder, what? 30? But Crowder ain't missed the last 6 years either. But that's not, but see, this is where the issue is. This is why people want him on a team because they felt like he was done wrong or whatever. Like, he's been out of the league because of this, and that. I get it. He's been out of the league for a reason. Whatever the reason is, right? I could kind of care less right now talking about my team in the 53. But my point is he hasn't been playing. Even before the 6 years, he was injured. Or he's been suspended here, suspended there. He has, okay. He has 23 catches the last 10 years. Dog Ty said, also note Martavis Bryant didn't get into the game until McSorley got in there, and he had limited targets at that phase of the game. Bryant is no IU, but coach said, be where your feet are. That coach ain't here no more. Parlay. Zacchaeus offers more than Bryant right now. K Jr., how you doing? I think it might be your first time tapping in on the chat, so definitely appreciate you. He paid his debts to the side. Free Martavis. Look, you don't even know how to spell his name, K. His name is Martavis, not Martavius. Man. Not too many catching that red zone touchdown that he caught. Come on, Parlay. Stop it. Stop it, Parlay. I just like what I see from him tonight. That wide receiver was scary, and he has What's BPA? He has what? What's BPA, Polly? What you mean by scary? Yeah, it's scary. Like, but he ain't gonna fix it. And that's the thing with like size, right? Bryson Tremaine, he's tall. Ain't he 6'3", 6'4"? And he ain't been out of the league for 10 years. Why you don't like Bryson Tremaine? Yeah, well, appreciate you, K. K said I was playing. Appreciate you, K, man. Yeah, definitely appreciate you for subbing. Continue to tap in with us. Continue to tap in with us. Big playability. Parlay, stop it. Parlay wilder. Go to bed, Parlay. It's bedtime for you, man. It's bedtime for you, Parlay. It's bedtime for you, Parlay. All right, let's see. All right. This is what I got, right? Yep, 4 p.m. on 2. I think, but you know what, Key? I think like they might start tomorrow because I know some other teams they started this weekend. So we might get some releases early. We might get some early in the morning. That's why I wanted to jump on here and throw mine out there. Just in case, they start releasing people early in the morning. But don't charge me for code. Just pretend like Cole Turner is not on this list and add somebody else. But yep, 4 p.m. Tuesday is that cut date. Dog time Martavis couldn't affect the game even against the 3-4s. He shouldn't be on the roster. Yep. And if he does, man, hey, look, I'm wrong, right? I ain't gonna be mad at it. I ain't gonna be mad at it. Michi might be a good one. I think, and we talked about this earlier, probably. Michi might be one that they want to keep, but they also, might give him an opportunity to go somewhere else. They might try to trade him too. Maybe get some type of compensation, like conditional third day or something. But let me ask y'all this. Where does Mitchie rank in this wide receiver room? Because we know he had the scare a couple years ago, right? He came back healthy. I think he got injured again last year. I think. So I think he's going into his third year. Where do you think he's on this list? Let me put it back over real quick. Everybody in the chat, Telly, I hope you still here. Dog, K, Ed, all you guys are still in the building. Tim, Parlay, Glenn, see Glenn in the building. Where do you all think? All right, so out of these wide receivers, where does Michi go? Yeah, so Glenn, how it works is the deadline to get to 53 is Tuesday, but if teams start releasing players now, we can sign them or sign them off the waiver wire using our waiver powers up until 2:00. Up until 4:00 Tuesday. So yeah, you're right. Yep. Trade him for Ayuk. I think something else has to go back to your list. Yep, there you go. Wow, see, look at that. 2 or 3, 3 or 4. Wow, see you 3. I think Mitch can go before Crowder. Yeah, that's cool. I won't be mad at. But I think, yeah, man, 2 or 3, man. I don't know. 3 after Diami. They probably got the same numbers. You got them numbers for me, dog? Ty? What them numbers look like with Diami and Michi? Michi been injured. I mean, he was out a whole year with the he's going through cancer, some form of cancer, I believe. So he missed that he missed his rookie year. So yeah, man, automatically 2 or 3. I think we all can agree. No lower than 3. No lower than 3. Yep, 3-4. Michi looked good yesterday, worth the shot. I say fight on odds only because he had to learn the system. Upside 3. I think we all can agree. Michi might be 3. All right. Tackles. I got 9 linemen. I got Lucas, Wiley. I think I might have spelled his name like the other Wiley. Brandon Coleman. Now, I can either go Trent Scott or Daniels here, but I really think this is a player X. Like I really think they bring someone else in here. And I don't think it's gonna be no world beater. I don't think, but I think it might be a veteran that's kind of was outplayed, or if that team wants to go younger with the tackle they may have drafted this year or last year. I think we get a vet in here to be player X for the tackles. watch Michi. Like go just I mean, even if you just watch some college tapes, college highlights. Watch the game. I don't know if you could get the game. What was that, yesterday or day before that they played? Yeah, check that out too. Trade for IU assignment. We good, man. Look, man. Mike White. Oh, did they just cut him? Did they just cut Mike White? Talking about Mitch. Yeah. So what y'all think, man? I got Cosme out of Grady, Chris Paul. They was playing Chris Paul a lot at right tackle, man. How y'all think he fed? He was playing a lot of right tackle. I thought he had a chance to use like in some competition, but he's still kind of raw. He's still a little stiff. So we'll see. And I went Biotish and Ricky Stromberg. I think Stromberg can go between guard and center. I was kind of thinking about Dieter too. But that would have put me at 10, which I think this is 9 here. Michael Dieter, I think they only signed 1 year, $1 million, something like that. So I don't think he's a lock on the team. What y'all think? Because I think Stromberg can do both. Biotish is kind of solid. Did anyone stand out for you tonight? Not really, man. I mean, Wiley kind of sealed it for me tonight for him making a team. At the running back position, Cole Turner really disappointed me today. I'm trying to think, man. Cornerbacks is horrible. Forrest, like I said, I want to look at the all 22, but it just seemed like he was out of position all the time. The kicker, looked very confident, hitting them down the middle. Dang, looked shaky. So he might be our guy. I know I had player X beside him. I think Edward, one of y'all said the conditions was like games played or injuries. I heard somewhere else it was making the 53. So I wonder what those conditions are for the 7th, because there are a lot of battles going on with some kickers out there now that we may bring in. So that's something to definitely watch. But they traded for him, right? Whatever those conditions are, they traded, went out and got him. This is what they want. So he may be the kicker. I know he had a good rookie year, and then the next year was shaky, ended up getting cut. I think he bounced around from practice squad to practice squad last year. Signed back with the Browns, and then we traded for him last week. So we just got to see. He has a crazy leg, man. He was really good in college. I think the Browns picked him in the 4th round. Yeah, so he's really good in college, man. I know he had some key misses the year before last. He had some key misses that some Browns fans said, kind of cost him the game. So we'll see, man. With these kickers, man, the saying one man's trash is another man's treasures, definitely go with kickers. I mean, look how many kickers that we had that's in the league flourishing right now. So with the kickers, that's definitely the case. Just stop talking about Joey because he missed a 30-something yarder. O-line looks about right. About that free agent O-line, Andrew. Who's that, Glenn? Who's Andrew? Dieter's on this team. Yeah, man. Like I think I think he is, man. But who would you? Okay, so would you add him? Because I don't think they go more than because Ricky can do both. Dieter can do both too, right? I don't know, man. It kind of depends because yeah, this O line is kind of fluctuate between 9 and 10. But I don't know. We got to see what this regime looks like. But I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, Revo's throwing the first play, like the kickoff. He came down like I'm all pro Revo. He definitely gonna make this team. We just don't want him playing safety. We just don't want him playing safety. But yeah, he definitely make this team, man, no doubt. Oh, yep. Andrew Riley is Andrew Riley, bro. Yeah, games played and injuries. I sent you an example issue based on a trade from this season. Oh, all right, I gotta check it out. Got cut early this afternoon. Trent Scott getting cut. Yeah, he's horrible. Like I, I seen him and he looked pretty good a couple days at camp, but then it just went all downhill. That Jets joint practice, that Jets game, it went all downhill, man. It went all downhill. But I think he's better than what's behind him. That's why I think it might be another player. It might be a player X and then they cut Trent Scott. But Trent Scott did good last preseason though. But yeah, you might be right. Y'all might be right, man. Charlie said they going 10. But where though? Like you think it stays like this and they add Dieter? Or do you think they add Daniels? Or it's just somebody off the street? Does McSorley make the team or practice squad? I don't know what McSorley gonna do. Maybe the practice squad, maybe? Because they only brought him in because everybody was hurt. So it'd be good if he could stick on the practice squad. But that'd be too many though. Like it depends what they do with the practice squad. It depends what they do with the quarterback room, right? Are they going to keep Mariota? Which I think they will. I hope they don't, but they probably will. They'll keep Mariota. Then you got Driscoll, Hartman, and McSorley. Like I think Hartman, I don't think he's gonna. None of them is gonna make anybody's 53 on the waiver wire. So I definitely think Hartman will stay on the practice squad. They'll probably protect Hartman, but Driscoll and McSorley, I don't know. You only get 10 spots on the practice squad. So do you want 3 quarterbacks on there? I don't know. Something to think about. Shopping game last week. I couldn't watch anymore. They are, bro. They both mid. They are, man. Yeah, we definitely gonna get into Jaden. Yeah, too many quarterbacks. Sam played on pub. All right. Yeah, that's what I think happens with Sam Hartman. I think they shelf him. Yeah, I definitely think they shelf him. But he's gonna have to be on this 53 though. So if that's the case, dog tired, then he has to be on this 53. So they're gonna go 3 quarterbacks. Because remember, regardless of your injury status, unless it's IR, I think unless it's IR, you have to be on the original 53. And I just don't. I mean, they might. That's why I say it's going to be a numbers game. This time of year is it's a numbers game. So we got to see who can make it, who they might lose to someone else's 53. It's so many things that, and then you got to think about the players they brought in and the players that was already here. Like we've seen, like they don't care too much about the players that was already here. So if you have a guy that's been here and a guy they just brought in this year and they're really close together, more than likely they might go with their guy. So we just got to see. So you feel we pick up? So you feel we pick up any help from the waiver wire, and saw how much of a difference? I don't think it'll make a big difference, man. Like you might get some depth help, like Michi, for instance. He'll be a big help to the wide receiver room. Like even 3-4, he'll be a big help. So if you can find somebody like a vet, um, that can still have some sort of an impact, but that team might have a new regime in. They might have drafted someone last year or this year that they want to get reps in. And, they talk with them, say, hey, look, we're going to release you so you can find, somewhere else. If you sign someone off the waiver, you're picking up their contract also. So that might be somewhere, Glenn, we might find somebody that have an impact that may even start if we kind of weaken a few places. But I don't think we're gonna. I don't think we're. It might be some names like Montavis Bryant, a name that might end up being on the waiver wire, where that name hasn't had power in a few years. That may be there. So it just kind of depends, man, which way they go. I'm trying to think of a time like a player was released to end up having like a big impact. Yeah, Daniel swing tackle. That's what I'm saying. Like, do they care him? I know a lot of people say he was overdrafted. So I don't know. Robert Woods. It just seemed like he wasn't the same since the Rams after that injury. But I could be wrong, though. I haven't really followed him the last couple of years, dog. Yeah, it got to be a game changer. If not, you're right. It's just depth. Some veteran. But like I say, man, a lot of our roster, a lot of these battles was like low BC type battles, position battles, right? I don't know, man. Brandon Coleman, I gotta see it. Brandon Coleman and Newton, we gotta see. And remember, y'all, that might be something too. Like these injuries after the original 53, a lot of these guys might get put on PUP, and we probably bring back some of the players that we know. So add them to the 53. Yeah, so we'll see, man. I put it out there, man. That this is my roster projection. Please remove Cole Turner from my list. That's the only person I would probably move from my list. I don't know who I'll add. Maybe Hampton on the defensive side. I might add him. Yeah, that's my list, man. I would love to see you all's list. You post it, tag me, see what your 53 look like. Kind of compare them. And we're definitely going to be here Tuesday. OTH is going to be running tomorrow night, and we're going to go through our main 53 that we had to see what's what. People we released already or whatever the case may be. We're also going to talk about the new upgrades at Commander's Field. I think we might look at some of the press conference from Josh Harris too. We may do that tomorrow. And then Tuesday we'll go look at the actual roster and compare it. Gonna say my floor is still 7, but we bring shock and all make the playoffs. Yep. And like I said, I ain't doing my till after the first game. I ain't doing no win-loss projection out of the first game. I need to see some real life schemes out there. So something. Even though I know it can get better throughout the season, but I need to see something. I need to get some type of identity after week 1, and then I'll make my projection because I just don't know. I just don't know what this offense is going to look like, what it's going to do. I don't know, man. So I don't want to go out there and put my projections out there yet. I'm going to wait till after week 1, and then I'll do my projections from there. All right. All right, look, listen, appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all spending y'all time with us. Not saying Woods and Ass, but he will give us some experience. Y'all need to look at some stuff from the last couple of years on Woods. All right, man. I definitely appreciate y'all topping it with me. I know your time is very valuable. All of the new subscribers, all of the new contributors on the chat. Edward K. A few others that tapped in earlier. We definitely appreciate y'all tapping in with us. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Join us over there next time to chat it up. And y'all know what it is. All of my regulars in the building. We definitely appreciate y'all always tapping in with us. We know you're probably say Woods is trash. I know your time is very valuable for you to spend it with me. I definitely appreciate it on this midnight podcast, my first one. We might do a few more. Who knows? But I definitely appreciate y'all tapping in with me. I know your time is very valuable for you to spend with me. I definitely appreciate it. Remember, do it because you love it, not because it loves you. One beat, one sound, one heart, one love. Montavious is not that guy.